Welcome to UC News, ucnewscanada.ca. The Canadian Crisis Response. I'm Dr. Dave. Prior to the COVID lockdowns that gutted the basis of our economy, the combined forces of bankers, big business, and government had already driven many Canadians to the brink of disaster. In 1 year, the government printed more money than the entire economy was worth, cutting the real value of the dollar in half and directly resulting in doubled prices. In this economic crisis devastating the lives of those on fixed income, politicians are doing what they've always done, attacking people for money and removing rights and freedoms essential to our basic life security. No plan has been presented to restore the basis of the economy. Instead, income extremists, seeking unlimited increase taken from our lives, have seized control of every essential human need, driving many into debt, despair, and homelessness, with no way out and no hope for a future. We are expected to pay for it all, yet we have no say about anything that affects our lives and future, and our children face a grim future. Bylaws aim to control every detail of our lives, yet have no basis in law. Local politicians who have neither read nor understood the law believe they have the right to unlimited control of our lives, allowing no choice or freedom, while pushing us on a path we do not want, destructive to our lives and future, crippling our capacity to grow food, sustain ourselves, make and sell things. Our freedoms are removed and our rights disregarded as politicians work behind the scenes against our lives and against the law, in contempt for the law, our lives, and the principles of justice. Across the country, the complaint is the same. They simply do not care. We are in crisis, but get no response from government. Ministry mandates are ignored. The law is ignored. When we act to secure our own lives by the work we do, working reasonably under the law, we are opposed, blocked, and stymied in our every action. This is not democracy. This is a totalitarian state created by individuals in government working against the law, fully disrespectful of the lives and rights of citizens. In 1982, our obvious and inherent rights to equality under the law was legally recognized, each of us being fully capable of making fundamental decisions about our lives and future. Each individual knows the unique shape and purpose of their life. Equal relations are respectful, based on fact and evidence, hard work and honesty. We can give a reason for what we do, but politicians cannot. Pushed to the limit, we have no room left in our lives at all for the cognitive dyslexia characteristic of political sociopathy in their hateful actions against humanity, reversing the truth, intent, and meaning of things, attacking and creating systems of hate driving our destruction. Liars destroying our lives and future, saying that nothing in our lives is off limits, and we must agree to the unmitigated destruction and plunder of our lives without reason and without limit. Operating with no knowledge at all of how hard it is to do the work, to pay for our lives and for government, making our lives impossible and creating a state in which our children cannot start life and have no future. We are not your servants. We have not broken the law, you have. We have equal rights of decision-making, and yet find local politicians to be the greatest threat to our lives and future, consistently refusing to obey Canada's top laws and completely rejecting our 1982 Constitution Act. By fully rejecting our inherent rights to self-determination, rejecting reason, and working against the law in criminal collusion, they are the source and cause of our local housing, work, and food security crisis. Under the law, elected officials that refuse to represent and defend citizens who instead work against the law and against the principles and practices of our Canadian Constitution commit the indictable criminal code offense of sedition and can be sent to prison for up to 14 years. When they further issue plans that will lead to the death of this generation of Canadian children by attacking their Section 7 rights to life, the criminal code concern is treason, which carries a life sentence. This they have done, issuing edicts with no basis in law and threatening citizens if they do not obey, acting by force and hate in extreme Section 15 violations of citizen equality and equal benefit under the law. In a strongly worded Supreme Court of Canada ruling, Canada's top judges said this: the purpose of affording constitutional protection against the deprivation of liberty is to safeguard the entitlement to make decisions of fundamental importance free from state interference. This is the law Canadian politicians must obey, yet we get fraud. Under the authority of the Canadian Constitution Act, and acting with moral imperatives fully based in fact, evidence, and care in response to crisis, I am hereby calling on 300 of the top minds in Canada to guide our country through crisis. We will work in the public domain, off limits to politicians. I am calling on the top minds with knowledge and hearts of conscience to now join the Ccats, the Canadian Charter Action Team, directly defending the lives and rights of citizens at local to national scale, doing the work that politicians ranking high in the psychopathy index refuse to do, defending the lives and rights of citizens under the law. We will now create a second City Hall online as our right and freedom, directing our employees in government who live on our social assistance as to the work they must do for us under the law. It's our money, our lives. We have the right to decide. That's the law.